We'll take the hands right down. Now just draw the breath down into the belly. This is a little different. Normally we'd be having the belly drawn up to create space in between the ribs and the hips. This is the Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, which is that high pull in here that creates space in between the ribs. And I love to express that it's very much like somebody comes up behind you, gives you a bear hug and pulls up. Now that creates space in here, the diaphragm, which is just like the dome downtown. And it's a wonderful rise, and you can see it helps to draw the rib cage back and up. Now this time I want you to keep your space, but draw the breath down into the belly. So breathe in and out through the nose. And I'm going to exaggerate the movement. You're going to draw the breath right down into the belly. And when you exhale, draw the belly back. This drawing the awareness, the breath down low, can help to get a stretch in through the low back and through the spine. So again, drawing the breath down low. And when you exhale, the abdominal wall comes back. Exaggeratedly, so you breathe in and the belly comes forward. And this is if you were here, this is where I come around and I place my hand just right on your belly right here. Exhale, the belly comes in, breathing in, feel the belly extend, and then exhale and feel the belly come back. Notice if you feel any sensation in your back with this extended, movement. And on the exhale, pulling back. Okay, good, one more. Breathing in, feel the belly expand, feel the rib cage expand, and then exhale and pull back. Okay, good. Now we'll do a bend of the knees and just bring the body down into a forward fold that's very tippy from the bum bone. So you're going to look up, hold on to the shins, and lift in through the chin and draw your shoulder blades back. So you got a really good line right from your tailbone right through to the chin, and you're lifting there. And I just want to check, I need to do a little movement here to see my gallery view. Get out of the way. Okay, good. I felt like Nita came in. Okay, super. So, good morning, Nita. Now we'll come from there just into a taller lift. So you're going to pull the bum bones up and you pull up through the inner thighs. Now the hands are just touching on the shins, wherever you need to get that flatter reach of your bum bones coming up and back. And then go a little further down, let your head fall. And we're incrementally pulling the bum bones up higher to get more length in through the back of the legs. And then come into one more breath. And then you're going to take your hands in front, right to the fingertips. Take the feet hip width apart. And then come into a forward fold. Completely commit. And as you let your head drop, pull up through the inner thighs so you can tip forward towards the balls of the feet. Getting that length right through the backs of the legs. Keep on pulling up through the inner thighs as you fold. And breathing. Excellent. Now we're going to breathe in, gaze up, and come up onto the tiptoes. This is a flat back, just as if we're coming into a sun salutation, but we're taking it a bit more slowly to fold and warm up the low back and hamstrings. This is a real precision, so I'm moving into workshop mode to help you get that sense of right in the bum, right at the top where the hamstrings connect. If you can pull up that area, tip the bum up. Or as a very famous yogi likes to say, he says, shine your anus up towards the moon. So I think it's full moon. So if that works for you, then just feel free to do that as well. He's a sensuous yoga teacher. Now just take one more breath here. You're in the fronts and the backs of the feet, all four corners. And then on your next in-breath, gaze up, nice flat back. And then we're gonna fold forward one more time. And now again, breathe in, lift. Bring the arms up out to the side, open through the rib cage, step the feet together and press the pinkies together. And exhale the hands. Breathing in, let's begin. Breathe in, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend, reaching out. Breathe in, come halfway up, just touch. Exhale, fold forward. Planting the hands, jump or step the legs back. Turning into your side plank, either bending the underside leg or lengthening. And then rotate to the other side, taking an in-breath, lift the rib cage, draw the shoulder blades back. And then back to your center. Now stay in the plank, have your feet hip-width apart. Send the inner thighs up towards the ceiling and really press the heels back. And then step the legs wide, keeping the ribs from moving if you can. And then back. And if it's too much on the wrists, then please come right down onto the elbows. It's actually a little bit harder on the core that way. And then the legs come wide, reaching the heels back. Breath, and then step together. And again, wide, and step together. Now bend the knees, point the toes, and push the pubic bone forward as you lower. The hands end up exactly at the chest level, and the elbows press back. Now press into the palms and do a very small sphinx, lifting the chest forward and the elbows press back. And it feels like you're pulling your palms back. They stay put, and that will help to press into the heel of the hand. And then just there, take the hands behind. Now pull the wrists up like this and send the wrists out so you're hooking the fingers in as the shoulders slide down. So we'll take a wrist stretch into this as well. And as you press the tops of the feet down, lift the rib cage and then gently release. Take the hands beside the chest, bend the knees, and then pull the knees right underneath the hips. Hands underneath the shoulders, tabletop position. Now let's just do a couple of cat rounds here. And I want you to do it with your own timing and your own breath. So you're breathing in, lifting the eyes, exhaling, rounding the spine, and coming up and down. And feel that lift of the spine as you look back, and you feel like you're pressing the palms right through the floor as the shoulder blades space in your upper lift. Keep that going for 2 more. Your own breath pace. And then once you've completed that, come on into your flat back position, tuck the toes under, take an in-breath, arc the back, lift the bum, and then exhale and rise into your downward dog. Good, stay there. Keep that lift right from the rib cage. Keep the head dangling so the back of the neck is long. And 1 more breath in downward dog. And now gazing up, come up onto the tiptoes, shift the bum high, and then step the feet forward to the hands. Come on, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. And now breathe in, bring the arms up, bring the palms together, and then exhale the arms to center. And again, inhale, gazing up, open through the chest. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Breathing in, come halfway up, just touch. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands, jump or step the legs back. Turn into your side plank. Lift the underside waist. Breath, shoulder blade is back. And then come back to your center, rotate to the other side, in breath. Drawing the shoulder blade back, rib cage is stacked, feet are stacked. And then back to your center. Stay with your plank. Keep the heels reaching back, inner thighs moving towards the ceiling, keeping the legs strong. Now take the legs wide. Step the legs together. Doing 2 more times, bringing the heels wide, keep the ribs in and together. And last one, coming wide and together. Now we're going to take the left leg out, touch, and then come back to your center. And right leg out and back to your center. And left and back and right and back. 2 more. And left, keep the rib cage in. That's holding like a half a giggle up. And in, and then you can bend your knees. Point the toes, lift the pubic bone forward, chest rises lower. The hands end up right beside the chest. Press into the palms, press up, and now lift your legs up. And the legs are apart, and you're reaching the heels out. Toes are pointing, and I'm not doing too high of a lift, so we're not going way up yet. It's more of a starting to Bring blood right into the low back. Let the feet down. Take an in-breath. Then exhale and rise into your tabletop position, drawing the knees right underneath the hips, and then tuck the toes under. Take an in-breath, arc. We're going to go right into the lift of the downward dog. Bringing the bum bones up and letting the heels dangle. Now let your head drop completely and turn the head side to side, release in through the neck. Keep on pulling up from the core. Now we're going to do one more breath in downward dog, and then we're going to come back down. So here we go. Come on right down, bending the knees, and you're going to turn the palms up, draw down to the elbows. Now the hands come up, and I'll demonstrate that they come right behind the head, and you press into Namaste. Now the toes point, and you're taking in-breath, and you've got your hands pressing back there, so I know you might need to look because this is different. And when you exhale, you're going to round, and your head will drop as you stretch through the back of the neck, the palms and pinkies pressed together. And in your rounded spine, you're going to stay in it. Stay in that rounded spine so that you can breathe open underneath the armpits. And you stay with your breath. And one more breath. Keep the tops of the feet pressing down. And then you can exhale, let your palms drop. Now take the hands right under the shoulders again, and just do a little rise and a fall of the shoulder blades. So if you can see, what I feel is this is called a pronation of your shoulder. And what it is the shoulder blades come back, and it's like you're opening a drawer, the palms coming forward. And yes, you can come into a little bit of a cat round, but it's more of a press your palms as if they're going through the floor to get into the shoulder joint. Getting that mobility of the scapula coming back. And then one more. And now come to your flat back position. Tuck the toes under. Arc the back, lift the eyes, inhale, and then exhale and rise into your downward dog. Now you can take your left leg straight up in the air, come up on the toes of the right foot, bend that left heel in, and then circle the knee to the outside. Get a wonderful opening through that thigh. Really good reach. Extend the knee out. Come up on the toes of that right foot. And then you can extend that left leg out, reach, and come down. Here we go, right leg coming up on the toes of the left foot. Bend that right heel in, circle. Bringing the knee high. Breath is constant. A line right from your bum bone right to the top of the head, nice and long. Getting that reach of the knee up and high. And then extend that right leg up. Come down, feet are hip width apart, usual position, downward dog. And then gaze up, tiptoes, jump or step the feet to the hands, come on halfway up. Exhale, fold. And then breathe in, bring the arms up overhead, bring the palms together, gazing up. And then you can exhale the arms to center. And then inhale, gazing up, open through the chest. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Breathe in, come halfway up, touch the shins, reach out with the chin. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands, jump or step the legs back. Rotate into your side plank. We'll take an extra move. Let's take that left leg back. Extend up with the arm, reach, and then inhale and take that arm down. Windmill right to the other side. Rotate, either stack or bend that underside knee. Bringing the right leg back. Of course, you might have the underside knee bent as you lift. And then coming back. And now come on right back to your center. Stay in your plank as you reach the heels back. Take your legs wide. Let's continue with the really straight legs. So try to keep the quads really activated, pressing the heels back. And then step the feet together. We'll rotate to the outside of the right foot. Keep the feet stacked as you lift the underside rib cage. And then rotate to the other side, keeping the feet stacked. And then back to your center. Once more to the right. Back to your center. And then over to the left. back to your center. Now take the legs, we're going to take the left leg out. So you're going to touch the left leg out, slide out, and then step it back. And right leg out, and step it back. And left, and step it back. Keep the legs strong. 2 more. Coming out, and back. Last one, out, and back. And then you can bend your knees, point your toes, lift the chest, and then let the rib cage come down. Now, this time, take your elbows down. Have them underneath the shoulders. Take an in-breath, gaze up into Sphinx pose with the tops of the feet pressing down and the rib cage is pulling up. And then you can bend the knees. Take the knees right underneath your hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, take an in-breath, arc the back, and then exhale and rise into your downward dog. Now, once again, take the left leg straight up, come on onto the top of the right foot. Onto the ball of the right foot, bend that left knee in. Now turn and look under the left arm as you send that left knee out and you really open up through that quad. Really lift the bum, and then you can extend that left leg out and come down. Here we go, right leg, lifting, come up onto the heel, onto the ball of the foot, bend that heel in, send the right knee out, look under that right arm as you lengthen through the torso, pulling up, and then extend that leg down. Turn and come back to your center, pull up from the cord, letting the heels come down as much as you can. 1 more breath in downward dog. Keep the inner thighs moving back. And now we gaze up. Come up onto the tiptoes, jump or step the feet to the hands. Come on, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, breathe the arms up, lift from the rib cage. And then you can exhale the arms to center. And again, inhale, gazing up, open through the chest, shoulders back. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, come halfway up, just touch. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands, jump or step the legs back, rotate into your side plank. Lifting. Once again, bend the knee behind. This time, of course, arm comes over. Forgot last time. Give that wonderful lift. See if the underside legs can lift high. And then windmill that arm around. Rotate to the other side. Opening the rib cage. Taking that leg behind. Lift. Open through the chest. Extend. And then you can windmill that arm around. Come on back to your center. Keep the heels reaching out. Bring the legs wide. And together. And wide, reaching. And together. And again, wide. Breath. And together. 2 more. Keeping the ribcage pulled in as the heels reach back. And here's our last one, coming wide and together. And then just if you could, take the left leg out, slide out, come back in, right leg out, slide in, left, and slide in. Last one, right and in. Now bend the knees, point the toes, push the pubic bone forward as you lift the chest, come down, take the elbows down, palms forward and wide. Press into the elbows, breathe in, gaze up. Keep the elbows pressing down and keep the shoulder blades back as much as you can. And 1 more breath. Good. Now release the chin down. Bend the knees right underneath the hips. Take the palms under the shoulders. In breath, arc the back, lift the eyes, and then exhale and round into your downward dog. And again, the left leg coming up, come up on the toes of the right foot. Bend that left heel and circle the knee. It might be a little easier. And you're coming right around with that left knee. Breath. And then you can extend the left leg up. Here we go, coming down. Beautiful. Right leg. Lifting up on the ball of that left foot. Bend the heel in. Circle that right knee out. Again, really opening through the thigh. Breathing steadily. Here we go. Extend that leg out. And then come down. And then release. Come on down.
Bend onto the knees, and I want you to take the palms forward. We're going to come right into child's pose, and we'll continue down onto the floor. Release the forehead down. Now keep the palms reaching out and release, let the forehead go completely. And with your toes tucked under to stretch the feet, do a little rock side to side. Breathing. Good, just stay with that. So keep your little rock side to side. Just need to check on, make sure I know who's here. Okay, good. And then you can point your toes and come on to the tops of the feet. Okay, great. Now you can come onto your elbows. Now let's come back into the position that you take your hands behind your head, press into Namaste. The palms are pressed and you're going to take an in-breath and then exhale, round your spine and press the elbows into the floor. Feel as if they're piercing right through and get a wonderful stretch underneath the shoulder blades. And on your exhale, you're really pulling up and letting the head drop and your chin will tuck slightly as you get that strong stretch through the neck. Okay, wonderful. And then just let the hands drop. Okay, now come on right up onto the hands. Take the left arm way across off the mat and then pull the left bum back. Release the forehead down. Getting a good stretch through the tops of the feet as well. Get the palm way out there. See if you can walk it out a little further. Breath. Breath. Excellent. And then you can come on right back. And now take that right hand across. Get way over. Pull the right bum bones back. Right bum back. And then release the forehead. Nice deep breath. Expand into the upper back of the breath. Good. Let yourself be very peaceful. There's sometimes if I can give you just enough instruction, but that really the instructions inside with the movement of the breath. And then you can come right back. The hands are underneath the shoulders and come into circles of the hips, coming around. Come on in the other direction. Great. And now you can take the toes under. Now walk the hands forward about 6 inches. And you're going to take an in-breath, lift. Now do this movement for a couple of breaths in that you're going to tip the bum bones up, pull the shoulder blades down, and lift the chin. Now it might feel very crunchy through the upper back, which is what I'm hoping. It might feel like it's hard to lift the chin, and that's good because I want you to start to open through the front trachea by opening your upper back in this position. So this is like doing a cobra, but using your tailbone to pull you back. So imagine I've lassoed you around the waist and I'm pulling your back, but you've got to lift your chin. You can't let it down. And you keep breathing into that, what might feel like a crunchy position to get the upper back to open. Keep the palms pressing back. And then you're going to come into a flat back position. Now the hands come back so they're under the shoulders, tabletop position. Point the toes, take the left heel out, and keep the body facing down. Now take the right arm out, reach up through that palm, and keep the left leg as straight as you can. The core pulls up, so you have that strong back, and then take the arm to the outside. If you can take that left leg up, do, and then see if you can reach around, grab onto the foot, and get your lift from the rib cage. The opposite right foot is pressing down as you lift, and you're opening through the chest. Keep the foot kicking out if you got it, and keep the core strong. And now, just keep your breath steady, really use the core, and then just lift your left arm up. I'm just kidding. Okay, keep that left foot kicking out. I just have to entertain myself. And keep now that right arm coming out, keep the left leg reaching and make sure everything's square. So see if you can get that left heel reaching out now. So I want you to pull the toes in so your whole body lengthens and be that pointer dog. Be that long, long, long spine. And then gently come down. That was brilliant. Now do a circle of your hips around. Now, I know that it can be really challenging on the wrist, so at any moment, if you ever need to counter stretch one of them that's tight, please do, because a lot of the weight can go into the heel of the hand there, as I'm sure you noticed. And then you're back to your center. Okay, now we're going to take the right leg out, reach up through that right heel, try to keep the bum squared. Take the left arm up, long through the torso. Keep that right leg reaching out, breath. Breath, long straight leg. Take the left arm out to the side. Keep the rib cage pulled up. Then bringing that foot in, grab onto the baby toe side as you kick that foot out. Whew. And as you open through that side, and any kind of little maneuvering you need to do, I find when I come to my weaker side, I find I have to do a little wiggling to get everything to get into the right place. So just notice if you need to do that. It's very much like, you know, a tree moving in the wind. You want to just find how do you get your branches in the right place as you breathe and find your center. And the rib cage will open. It's always worth it to tip and move around to find your center. And you kick that foot out to open in through the chest. Breathing is steady. Really kick that foot out. And then here we go. Extend the arm and leg out. Long through the torso, attempt to square the belly button, back down to the floor as you reach that heel out, and breathing and breath, core strong, and then come down. Okay, we let the body come back into kneeling position, and then you fold forward right into your child's pose. Super strong stretch your low back. Let your shoulders fall forward. And on your exhale, you can really pull the core in, going into breathing. Staying with your breath. Good, and then you can slowly uncurl and come all the way back up. Okay, from here we're going to come right into breath of joy. So just notice if you need to blow your nose, I find I always do in the morning. And because we'll do that strong exhale. Pardon me. You're going to have the elbows out to the side, palms are facing towards the front, and remembering it's a very strong exhale, pulling the abdominal wall in. 35 pumps and beginning. $33, $34, $35, and then just let the arms rest, pardon my nose, and then just let your elbows be back as you drop your shoulders. Keep the lots of space in here. Really, this is excellent for the abdominal wall. I don't know, Virginia, if you remember Esther Myers, but she was one of our very first yoga teachers in Toronto. She had a very successful studio. She moved a couple times and then landed on DuPont. Her studio lives on. She's long gone. And anyways, she talked about using this breath and how she would develop abdominals. She'd never had such strong abs. And it really is a very strong pull in. So it's more than an abdominal poke, it's a whole abdominal wall pulled back. So when you do your exhale, you know that you're increasing the respiratory muscles. Okay, here we go, breathing in. Okay, good. We're going to do one more round. And just notice if you need to settle. We've worked up to 35 counts. There's no advantage to going further. It's just that I find that from pranayama, this is pranayama breath practice, prana energy, and we're taking it in. I find that the more you practice breathing exercises, the more you want to do it. It really is an energizing breath that we're doing. And it also helps to, what I'm finding is it helps to get, I have a lot of challenge with my scoliosis, and I find that this area is what I can only say is freer. It's freer right in through here because of the very strong use of all of these muscles with the breath. So these are things that I can't really anatomically describe except that it's energy. There's more movement in the area. So I love for you to have these strong open shoulders, strong respiratory muscles. Let's do it again, breathing in. And then just let your arms rest. Take in 3 more deep breaths before we move on. And just feeling the body open. And of course, as I'm doing, feel free to do a little wiggle side to side. Okay, great. Now the hands come behind you and interlace the fingers. Take an in-breath, send the wrists out and back. And then take the tuck of the chin. So the hands reach out as the wrists come out, and you keep the rib cage coming in to get that expansion in through the back of the neck. As you hook the chin in, as you breathe in and out, we're engaging what is called a lock. And this lock, Uladara, I believe, is right in the throat. So you are tightening in through the esophagus, and then you gently release down. Good. So when I say throat, it really is like a pulling back and in of the Adam's apple. So I want you to try it again, that you interlace, you take an in-breath, lift the eyes, and then tuck your chin. Send the wrists out, breathe in and out through the nose. Keeping that chin tuck. And then you can take the hands down. Okay, wonderful. Now we'll take the hands forward again, and then take your left leg straight back. Now just pressing out through the heel to stretch in through the calf. And press. And then come on onto the outside of that left heel. Press the left hip down, get a stretch while you pull up through the skin of the rib cage right in here. So imagine you're being pulled out of the water, pull up from there while you drop your hip. Drop and drop and drop. Lovely. And then coming right back. Extend the right leg out. Wow, that was nice. And just getting right through the whole outer thigh. So you get that heel really reaching out, strong through the torso. Core is strong. And you're reaching out through the top of the head. Get the heel way back. And then rock onto the outside. Rock onto that outside right blade of the foot. Good. Pull up through the torso as you keep dropping that heavy right hip. And you stay with your breathing. And breath. And then you can come on all the way back. Now come on onto the knees. Tuck the toes under. Take an in-breath, lift the eyes, and then exhale and rise and walk your hands back all the way back until you're in a raggedy end forward bend, and take the hands to the elbows. Let your head fall. Let yourself fall forward from the waist and feel the weight evenly through the fronts and backs of the feet. And then release the hands and slowly uncurl. Breath. Lifting. Come all the way up. Okay, wonderful. Now we'll come from here right into balance. Let's press into the right foot, and then you can lift your left foot up. Now you can either come into tree pose, which is this position. And then Nita, I know you're familiar with the Ashtanga version of grabbing the big toe, the arm comes on the inside of the foot. And then you extend that leg up and you pull the shoulder back and you press into your standing leg. Now always feel free to hold on to the wall or something.
And then you'll start to find that midline of your standing foot, and you'll be able to press down into that side. So either doing the Ashtanga version of the leg coming up, or again, you can come into tree pose. And if tree pose is very easy, I recommend working towards the Ashtanga version. I mean, there's no comparison. This is so much about a more challenging pose. But the main thing is to pull the standing hip back, and so that you can, the leg up, hip back, so that you can pull the shoulders back, and then the body can actually stay in the midline. And again, just hold on to something and work on bringing the waist back as you extend the leg out. And good, and then you gently release that leg and press down. As you might notice, you're really pressing onto the standing leg inner thigh, and that is what's rooting you down into the floor. And then you come right up with the other leg, pressing the foot into the inside of the thigh, keeping the chest open, or if you are willing, holding on if you need to, grab the inside, not the outside, grab onto the base of the toe, hooking, bring that leg up, lift from the rib cage. When I do my practice on the beach this morning, this is where I meet the most people. They always go, oh, very good, very good. If you can just keep your shoulders back and rise from the rib cage. So every position, whether you've got your leg down or not, if you can press into the standing leg, so you can get that rise of the rib cage and keep your shoulders back. The gaze is on one spot, of course, in balance. And really that's what we're increasing, is one pointed attention. And one thing that I found, Nita, is that students really love this. So just about Kieran's age, I found that, couldn't resist, might want to just do this a little longer, is that they love to go into anything that concentrates their mind because of how crazy our minds are today. So they actually love balance. Okay, that was really good. Now let's take the left leg up and wrap around. And if you can wrap the lower leg, that works too. Now, as you know, you can put your bum against the wall. And then when you take your left arm on top and you come into your eagle, you let your hips sit back and the elbows are brought forward so that you're open right through your chest and you're breathing steadily. And you stay with your breath. Let the weight drop through the standing leg. Let the hips sit back. You're open through your chest. Breath. Keep the core solid. Drop into that standing leg. Breath. And then gently release. Come on, all the way back up. Good. Okay, I will show you from the side this time. So you're lifting that opposite right leg up. I do like to hike up to get a little bit more of a rotation over. And then you press that foot around. Take your right arm on top. As you sit back, the weight is dropping through the standing leg. And please be so compassionate. This is a really challenging pose. And it's very much like riding a bicycle. Once your body finds these lines, you want this pose. Your body wants to open this way. So what are we opening? We're opening your right hip. Also your left hip, your low back. You're also strengthening your shins like crazy, your ankles, and you're creating an inner balance that you can come and use at any time because you have this now as your pathways. So what I find is in the winter, I don't wipe out. I'll slip, but I don't know, the body just catches when it slips. Oops. And breath. The wiggling is where the body's finding its center often. And breath. And then you can gently release, coming all the way up. Okay, that was really good. Let's come on down onto all fours again. Take your hands right under the shoulders. Now press your right hand just under the nose and then breathe and lift and turn and look up, taking that arm way up. And then you can gently release. Press the left hand down, breathe in, lift, opening the chest and the shoulder, breath, and then coming down. Okay, now you can come on right down onto your back.
And begin by drawing your knees in. Let your knees come wide. The elbows are bending. And as you pull your legs in wide, the tailbone might come off the floor. And then you're going to take the legs up. Now pull your toes back and grab on either behind the legs or grab on lower if you can. And then reach the heels out. Now do a pulse out as you reach out through the heels. Stay with your breathing. Excellent. Keep the legs as strong as you can, really reach out. Good, really good. Really reaching out. Now you can just have your arms out to the side if you could, and then do a pulse. Totally fine if you need to bend the knees. Just let's get some action on those inner thighs to strengthen and tone there. Now, as the toes pull back and you reach out through the heels, see if you can open through the backs of the knees. Yeah, and again, feel free to use your hands, to hold on or to steer them up towards you like this more. That's fantastic for the low back. And just keep the heels reaching out. Great. Now take the legs to the ceiling and take the right foot in front. Now you've got the foot in front of the heel, and you're going to pull the legs towards you. Perfectly fine if you're bent, of course. Grab on anywhere and pull the legs towards you. Now I've got this big toe, second toe slicing right into here. So they've got like a nice connection. You can use your back heel to kind of push your forward heel and pull the legs in. Of course, you can still hold on. But if you want to let your arms go, just keep using your core and the length of the backs of the legs to pull you down. So you stay with your breathing. And then you can gently release. Okay. And now take that right foot behind. Again, you might want to put your toes in to open them, to coax that left heel forward. Let your upper body go as you keep the heels reaching out. So any inversion, of course, fantastic for circulation. And this is kind of like a fun way to do a funner plow, where we're opening up one side of the bum more. And you keep the heels reaching out and the shoulders are resting back. And then you're going to take the legs wide and super wide. And as you reach the heels out, you're coming to your pulse again, but if you can reach, you might notice if you can spread the toes, it's very great for the fascia of the feet and the arches. But if you can get a strong pulse, again, it's totally great if you're bent, but if you can get a really strong pulse, so you go right into the inner thighs. So inner thighs, we do not isolate, and the stronger they can be, the more it helps with any kind of going up and down stairs, cycling, a little bit walking, stabilizing the knee and running. But we don't isolate these muscles, and when we do have more strength there, we can use our whole core better when we have better inner thighs. It helps with the lower abdominals. They're so closely connected. So again, inner thighs and lower abdominals really work together. Now then take the legs together. Now just do a little giggle, do a little and reach the heels out as much as you can as you pull your toes back. And do it again, do a little. Now your lower core is strongly connected to your inner thighs. Now let's just show you that by taking your left leg out. Keep the right heel to the ceiling. You can gaze at the ceiling unless you need to turn and see, but I'll give you good instructions. So your right heel keeps reaching up, keep the scissors open and keep reaching out with the legs. Now do a little giggle and try to giggle to your right side. Try to pull down through the right abdominals, and you're going to get a vibration in your left abdominals as well, and that's going to work the left inner thigh. And do another one. Do a keep the legs as straight as you can. That's key. And again. Okay, now take the left leg up, and then take the right leg out to the side. Keep that right leg reaching out, left leg to the ceiling. Keep the legs as straight as you can. Come into your giggle. Try to really reach out with that right heel. Okay, good. Good. And again, another giggle. Try to keep your legs as straight as you can. Okay, Okay, great. And now you come on all the way back up. Now bend the knees and then just let the heels come down. Take the soles of the feet together and then come into your lying cobbler. Now I do know that this can be hard, and sometimes you need to put, if you use a yoga block, a block under or a rolled up towel, which I've asked if you could keep one hand, and then that will just help you to let go more, and you won't have to worry about too much tension in that inner thighs or the knees. So that's a good way to help you there. And then stretch the arms overhead. Reach through the fingertips. And now take the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers. Take a good breath. And then exhale and tuck your chin. Stay with your breathing. And then slowly lower, coming down. Good. And then keep the elbows back and press the shoulder blades under. Now we're going to bend over to your left and press the right elbow back. Now the waist is opening on that right side as you keep the elbows pressing back. The soles of the feet press together to press the knees apart, and you're breathing steadily. Keeping the elbows pressing back. Wonderful. Come on over to your right. Press the left elbow back. Stay with your breathing. Breath. Breath. Keeping that left elbow pressing back. Wonderful. And then you can draw right back to your center. Okay, the arms release to the side. And then you're going to let your left leg straighten, hug your right knee in. Now pull the right knee into the outside towards the ribs. And then do a gentle rock side to side, really squeezing that knee in. And really good breath. Okay, now we take the left hand on the outside of the right knee, twist to your left, and take the right arm out to the side, gaze to that palm. And you can either keep the palm there, or if you want, you can come into a full circle all the way around. And you're exhaling as you take the arm down. Breathe in as you lift up, opening the chest. Constant breath. You really let your shoulder drop back as you come up. And one more time. And then end with your arm out there. See if you can pull the knee across a little further. Breath. And then you can breathe in and draw all the way back up. Now hold the right knee in. Pull in snug. And then take your left hand to grab onto that right ankle. And pull the ankle up towards you. So you do let the right knee turn to the outside, and then you lift the upper body and hug around that leg as you pull it in, breathing steadily. And then you can gently release, letting down. Okay, just let go for a moment. Let your body feel that right side and all the increased blood flow and energy in there. Taking a really deep breath. A really deep breath for a really big show. And then do just a little wiggle side to side, let your butt cheeks roll from side to side, massaging right into the sacrum. Okay, great. And then you can take your left leg in. And Virginia, I can't remember if you were here, but on Wednesday on the boardwalk, all the foxes came out, the baby family of foxes that are being protected down there. There were 7 or 9 foxes. It was incredible. And my story is getting bigger and bigger. And now you can take that knee across. It was so wonderful to watch. They were piling on top of each other, very playful and very curious. They were just a few feet away from us and checking out us humans. And there's these lovely volunteers that are down there, and they basically closed off the boardwalk where they came out. So we went off the boardwalk, and I just watched them from about 10 feet away. And they wouldn't come closer. They're really used to humans, which I know isn't a good thing, but it was really neat. And then arm circle if you wish. But if I'm sure they'll show pictures on the news, but they're just adorable. And it's right just west, a little west of the tennis courts where the Fox's Den is. So they quarantined off that part of the boardwalk. It's really neat. You're breathing in and out as you circle that arm around. And then you can come on back to your center. Now pull that knee in again, really snug to the outside, really tight. And then you can take the ankle and you're going to lift the upper body, pull that ankle across. Keep the right leg reaching out. And then you can let your upper body come down as you pull that ankle in. Let that left knee rotate to the outside. Pulling in as much as you can. Great. And then you can gently release. And let that left leg down, let go. Completely release into the floor. And then do any little wiggling to let your body go, to relax back into the floor completely. And then just feel really happy. You came, you dedicated this time to breathing deeply into your body. And now let yourself go right into a feeling of being like a puddle, of completely pouring down softly into the floor, letting everything go. And I am going to read you some poetry from Mary Oliver. Somebody so in tune with nature. So do feel the whole body rest back. Feel the shoulders rest back. Feel everything let go. This poem is entitled The Sun, which is going to come out today. And it wasn't supposed to. It wasn't supposed to, so that's a nice bonus. Have you ever seen anything in your life more wonderful than the way the sun, every evening, relaxed and easy, floats toward the horizon and into the clouds or the hills or the rumpled sea and is gone? And how it slides again out of blackness every morning on the other side of the world like a red flower, streaming upward on its heavenly oils, saying on a morning in early summer, on a morning in early summer as its perfect imperial distance. And have you ever felt anything, such wild love? Do you think there is anywhere in any language a word billowing enough for the pleasure that fills you as the sun reaches out, as it warms you, as you stand there empty-handed? Or have you too turned from this world? Or have you too gone crazy for power, for things? She always needs to bring in a little bit of a moral note at the end. Now, as you rest back, as you breathe and release, just notice if there's any part of your body that could let go anymore.
And then with awareness of your breathing, take a deeper breath in. Feel the sun, imagine it right on your body and your belly, warming into the beginning of this day. And then let the bellows of your breath deepen so you can open and expand everywhere in your torso. And then stretch like a starfish. Just reach the fingers out, stretch the toes back, heels out, getting a big long reach as you lengthen out. 2 more deep breaths as you stretch and lengthen. Let yourself go. And then you can take your arms and let them rest right down to the side of the body. And then let your head gently roll side to side. Feeling your shoulders back. And then you can let go completely. And take in 1 more deep breath. And exhaling. And now very gently, you can roll to your left side and draw all the way very slowly up to your seated position. And we'll take a moment to sit and set an intention for this day. So come on into your tallest but natural spine. You don't have to knock yourself out here. Just see how you can feel tall if you need to sit on a bolster or get your body into the tallest spine, because I would like you to have the best breath. Lots of space for the diaphragm. Good. Now tune into the intention you'd like to set for today. Whether it's to see foxes on the beach, whether it's to elaborate a sense of teamwork for something you need to do, whatever it is that will best serve the attitude of your day, the best attitude you can have for this day. Now you can bring your awareness back, and we'll bring our hands together and bow in namaste. Namaste. Have a great day, you guys. I don't think I have any announcements other than what I did announce in the last couple of days, and that is that I wish to have an open yoga class in Monarch Park on Saturday for the Saturday morning class. So I'll let you know if I can get people interested in that once I send out an email and get signups. And that's it. So have a wonderful day, you guys, and I'll see you at the next class.
Great, thank you.